Yeah, hello students and welcome back again to our video tutorial. And in this lecture we are going to discuss about the concept of antigen, antigen presenting cells, and later on we will be discussing about antibodies. So the first concept of antigen. What are antigens? Any substance which stimulates the generation of antibody in a human's body, they are referred as to antigen. So antigens are simply, they could be polysaccharide, they could be a protein, they could be a nucleic acid. These are the substances which initiate, which stimulate the generation of antibody, which stimulates generation of antibodies. As earlier discussed as well, antigen, it is formed by two different words. They are the one which initiate the generation of antibody molecule. So antigens, they could be polysaccharide, they could be a protein, or they could be a nucleic acid or nucleic acid. So anything which is enhancing, which is stimulating the generation of antibody in my body, that substance is referred as to antigen. There is a diversity of antigen in this world. Million trillion types of antigens are there. Now what are those particular molecules which actually bind with antibodies? Let's say this here is a pathogen, and on this pathogen, either on the surface of pathogen or in the cytoplasm of pathogen, there are certain special molecule which can generate the production of antibody and to which antibody comes and bind. These are the binding site of antibody over an antigen. The binding site of antibody over an antigen. The binding site of antibodies are referred as to epitope. Epitope could be present over the membrane of pathogen, or they might be present inside the cytoplasm of pathogen. So if you have been ever asked what are epitopes, epitopes are simply defined as antigenic determinant. What are epitopes? Epitopes are antigenic determinant. Antigenic determinant. And these antigenic determinant, to be very specific, are the binding site for an antibody. Epitopes could be present all over the surface like this. There could be epitope which are, let's say, squarish in nature. Then there are others which are half moon shape. As I told you, there could be as much as many types of epitope over a single pathogen as well, and different pathogens is having different type of epitope. So antibody binding site, to which site of pathogen the antibody binds? Answer is epitope. These are simply referred as to antibody binding site. So before starting the structure of antibody, we must learn where antibodies are going to bind. So antibody binding site over a pathogen are referred as to epitopes, or they are simply referred as to antigenic determinant. There could be different or various type of epitope present on a single pathogen, or different pathogen might have different type of epitopes. Now how antibody comes and bind? Let's say their epitopes, a pathogen might be having similar type of epitope as well. It might be having many of squarish and few of other type. See, the shape is not squarish, there are different side groups here. I am just telling you these two epitopes are similar, these two epitopes are similar, and this epitope and this epitope is different, this epitope and this epitope is different. How antibody come and bind? You are going to learn the Y-shaped molecule of antibody. Antibody, to be very specific, comes and bind like this. So a antibody might be binding to two similar epitope like this. Antibody molecule might be binding to the two similar epitope like this, or antibody molecule, it can come and bind to different epitope like this as well. Antibody molecule can come and bind to different epitope as well. Even if you are having two different pathogen like this, and two different pathogen are having similar type of epitope, let's say there is one epitope and other pathogen is also having such type of epitope, this antibody molecule come and bind and result in this condition. What you call that? Agglutination. Or the condition could be that there are two different type of epitope present like this. There is one epitope present here and other epitope present here, and antibody molecule can come and bind to this in such manner. So antibody molecule very efficiently can undergo agglutination as well by binding to similar epitope or different epitope, similar epitope on the same pathogen or similar epitope on the different pathogen, different epitope on the same pathogen or different epitopes on the different pathogen. So the concept is, what are antigenic molecule? Any molecule which is enhancing the production of antibody, that molecule is antigen, and antigenic determinant or the site to which antibody binds are referred as to epitope. Is that clear? Next, what are different types of antigen? What are different types of antigen here? So let us discuss about different types of antigen. Antigen could be bodies on, or antigen could be bodies non-self. So first one, the first classification is either a single molecule is able to generate, either a single molecule is able to stimulate the production of antibody. Such antigen is referred as to complete antigen. When a single molecule itself is unable to enhance the production of antibody, you call that complete antigen. And when a molecule itself cannot generate the production of antibody, but when that molecule is combined with some other molecule, that eventually result in the production of antibody. So I can say antigen could be complete or antigen could be incomplete. Incomplete antigen are commonly referred as to haptens. Incomplete antigen are commonly referred as to haptens. Important thing to remember, it has been asked. What are haptens? They are incomplete antigen. Incomplete antigen cannot individually can stimulate the production of antibody. These molecules individually cannot stimulate the production of antibody, but when they are ligated, to some other molecule, most probably it's a protein molecule, when they are ligated to this molecule, now this molecule can generate the production of antibody. So this molecule here is hapten, and that is a side group present here. So complete antigen could be there, incomplete antigen could be there. Moreover, the antigen could be your body's own, we call that self antigen, and it could be from the foreign pathogen, from the foreign particle जो commonly disease cause करता है, it could be non self antigen. So non self antigen, I told you that our acquired immunity have a very special property to discriminate between self and non self molecule. So whenever a non self antigen enters in our body, to that response our body starts producing antibodies. Even their surface antigens on the body cells as well. You must have learned about the antigens present on RBCs. The antigen on my RBC are referred as to self antigen, and the antigen which is not a part of my body, they are referred as to non self antigen. In self antigen, RBC examples are very common. I will love to discuss about the concept of H antigen here. See, H antigen is the precursor of A and B antigen. It is the precursor of A and B antigen. So in class 11th, I told you about how A antigen and B antigen are produced, how a cell, how a RBC, when it is going to develop, it is generate first, there is the formation of H antigen, and later on there is the formation of A antigen and B antigen. So precursor of all A antigen and B antigen or RBC is H antigen. and H antigen is known as universal self antigen. It is known as universal self antigen or universal antigen in human being. Furthermore, you can add here that there was a group of people in Bombay and we call that Bombay blood group by Bhende et al. In the year 1952. They analyzed that there is a group of people which do not have H antigen. H antigen नहीं होगा तो there would not be any A antigen or B antigen, and that group of people, they are the one which can only and only transfuse blood among themselves. They are the exception to O negative. O negative cannot donate blood to this group. I have discussed this case in blood grouping as well. Just for the time being, I just really want to learn that it could be complete antigen, it could be incomplete antigen, antigen could be self, it could be non-self, and H antigen is a classical example of self antigen. Is that clear? So what you learn up to yet, a molecule which stimulates the production of antibody is the antigen, right? Now concept of antigen presenting cell. Before starting the structure of antibody or before discussing about antibodies, let me tell you about the antigen presenting cells. Antigen presenting cells, or simply you call them APCs, See, what are antigen presenting cell? In the next lecture I will be covering that part as well, how macrophages and neutrophil works. For the time being, just remember, let's say this is a particular part of your tissue and your tissue is invaded by a foreign pathogen. Let's say that's bacteria has invaded your tissue. This is your blood circulation here. In the blood circulation, the first cell which reaches the site of infection, what you call that? Neutrophil. And second cell, later on neutrophil would be followed by monocyte, and monocyte after entering into the interstitial tissue, what you call that? Macrophages. What you call that? Macrophages. Now there are two cases, either this pathogen is engulfed by this cell, let's say there is a cell here and this cell is engulfing that pathogen and this pathogen is killed here. Or case number 2, there is a cell which is engulfing this pathogen, other cell which is engulfing this pathogen, and that cell after engulfment is expressing certain special molecule on the surface that I have engulfed it, and that pathogen is taken to the immune headquarter. Any cell which present the antigen to the immune headquarter are referred as to antigen presenting cell. They work in a very professional way. So antigen presenting cell, they are the one which engulf antigen and present it and takes it to immune headquarters, and majorly or most commonly which cells are receiving that? Most commonly T cells. So simply in the previous lecture I must have discussed that majority of lymphocytes are T cells, and there are so many cells which grab the antigen and present it to T cells. So any cell which has been grabbing the antigen and presenting it to T cell, they are referred as to antigen presenting cell. तो यहाँ से ये भी क्लियर हो गया कि T cells are not antigen presenting cell. Rest of the cells could be antigen presenting cell. T cell are not antigen presenting cell. Is that clear? So antigen presenting cell, any cell which engulf the antigen, which grab the antigen and take it to the T cells. Examples of APCs. What are the different examples? The first example of APC, no fun in telling, I just told you, macrophages are antigen presenting cell. Macrophages are antigen presenting cell. Is that clear? Second example of antigen presenting cells are B cells. B cells are more efficient antigen presenting cell than macrophages. Why they are more efficient? See, a B cell would be having a intramembrane immunoglobulin. B cell would be having a intramembrane immunoglobulin, let's say there is a intramembrane immunoglobulin present here, as well as a extramembrane immunoglobulin present there. This membrane bound antibody over B cell is referred as to BCR or B cell receptor. This is referred as to B cell receptor. This is not B cell receptor. Now a B cell is having a specific B cell receptor for a specific pathogen. Previous lecture I told you about, we are having different types of B cell, million type of B cells are present here, and a B cell is having a specific receptor. So B cell can engulf and can present antigen more precisely and more efficiently. Macrophages are not very specific. Whatever the pathogen is coming, they are engulfing it and taking it to immune headquarters. B cells being very specific, specific B cell acquire a specific pathogen. How pathogen would be hold? This pathogen would be hold like this. Let's say epitope. With the epitope, the pathogen is bound here. Now pathogen is very sad now, and now this complex would be presented to T cell. So B cells are more efficient APC, antigen presenting cell, than macrophages. And why they are more efficient? Due to their specificity, due to specific BCR, B cell receptor. So macrophages are APCs, B cells are APCs. Last but not the least, highly efficient APCs are referred as to dendritic cell. The third one is dendritic cell, and dendritic cell are third type of APC which are very highly efficient. They are highly efficient APCs, highly efficient. Okay, why the name dendritic cell? Let's say this is a nucleus of cell here, and this cell would be having very long cytoplasmic processes like this, and because of that long cytoplasmic processes, this cell is referred as to dendritic cell. You better know what is the meaning of term dendron. Is that clear? Now dendritic cell also hold, they are non-phagocytotic. Again, B cells are also non-phagocytotic, no fun in telling. Dendritic cells are also non-phagocytotic in nature. You might be asked to compare between macrophages and dendritic cell. So dendritic cell are non-phagocytotic and they are very efficient. They are very efficient. Now depending upon which part of our body is having dendritic cell, there are different type of dendritic cell. Dendritic cell are mainly stored. They are mainly stored in skin. They are mainly stored in spleen, and they are mainly stored in lymph gland. Dendritic cell of skin, example of dendritic cell which are present in skin, we call that Langerhans cells. Langerhans cells are a type of dendritic cell which are present in skin. And follicular cell are the dendritic follicular cells. They are the one which are present, follicular cells, they are the one which are present in lymph. And to make things simple, they have just called that the cell which are stored in spleen, we call that splenic dendritic cell, splenic dendritic cell or simply dendritic cells. तो अगर dendritic cells का क्वेश्चन आता है कि where dendritic cell is present, तो आप आंसर स्प्लीन करें. अगर Langerhans आता है तो you will answer skin, and follicular cell आता है तो you will answer lymph. So antigen presenting cell are the efficient and antigen presenting cells are the cells which engulf antigen and take it to the immune headquarter, and three types of antigen presenting cells are there. And important thing to remember, जब भी कभी MSC molecule पढ़ेंगे, all antigen presenting cell have MSC type 2 molecule on their surfaces. All antigen presenting cell have MSC type 2 molecule on their surfaces. तो जब मैं बताऊंगा how they are expressing that and how MSC molecules are produced, शायद तब वो helpful होगा आपके लिए. तो ये हो गया बच्चों about antigen, different types of antigen and antigen presenting cell. So whole sole function of antigen is to stimulate the production of antibodies. So it worth mentioning here, or it worth mentioning here that what is antibody, what is the structure of antibody, what are different type of antibody, and how antibody work. So next we are going to learn about antibodies. Antibodies, these are the defense molecule. These are defense molecule generally made up of glycoprotein, generally made up of glycoproteins. Defense molecule, globular proteins, which are produced in response to an antigen or in response to an infection, So those defense molecules which are produced in my body in response to an infection, such defense molecules are referred as to antibodies. All defense molecules are not antibodies, remember that. My body is going to make diversity of defense molecule. One of the defense molecule is antibodies, or those molecules which are produced in response to an antigen are antibodies. Is that clear? Antibodies are commonly known as immunoglobulin, as they are globular in nature. Because they are globular in nature, we call that globins, and they provide you immunity, we call that immunoglobulins. So commonly antibodies are referred as to immunoglobulins, and they are also abbreviated as Ig. Antibody here is abbreviated as AB, antigen is abbreviated as Ag. So immunoglobulins, they are commonly referred as to immunoglobulins. Remember, all the antibodies are immunoglobulin. All the antibodies are immunoglobulin, but all immunoglobulins are not antibodies. A statement which was mentioning here, all antibodies are immunoglobulin, but all immunoglobulin are not antibodies, अभी आपको बताया था मैंने बी सेल के केस में, on B cells there are certain intramembrane immunoglobulins present there. These intramembrane immunoglobulin are not antibodies. Extramembrane immunoglobulin is antibody. So ये भी statement याद रख लेना. All antibodies are immunoglobulin, but all immunoglobulin are not antibodies. Where antibodies are present? Antibodies, they are mainly present in blood. Where in blood? You will simply answer plasma. Where in plasma? Plasma is having so many proteins. Which proteins are immunoglobulin? So mainly plasma is having albumin. Albumin is the smallest. What I did, I take a sample of your plasma and I run all the composition on an electrophoretic unit. When I was running that, I find out there are certain protein molecules which are running very, very fast. Obviously they are the smallest one. Then other molecule which do not run very fast, which do not go very far away, and they are present here. And third molecule which is very large in size, and they are present here. So the one which is smaller, it runs the highest, and that molecule is albumin. The smallest plasma protein is albumin. These are globulins, and the largest, no fun in telling, that is fibrinogen. So if I am doing electrophoresis, this thing you don't have to remember, I am just telling you a concept. If I am doing electrophoresis of plasma protein, I find out a band like this. Out of that, it could be alpha, it could be beta, and these are the gamma. And to be very specific, these gamma globulins are antibodies. Immunoglobulins are gamma globulins. Which cell make antibodies? Answer is, they are produced by B cells. And specifically, which B cell make antibodies? Plasma cells. And each B cell make antibodies of a specific nature. So each B cell by its function is having specificity, and plasma cell can generate about 2000 to 20,000 antibodies in a second. Plasma cell के बारे में last lecture में हमने discuss कर लिया था, Weyl cell and all the things. So antibodies are defense molecule. They are glycoprotein in nature. They are globular in nature. They are produced in response of an infection or in response of an antigen. All the antibodies are immunoglobulins, but all immunoglobulins are not antibodies. Why you call that immunoglobulin? What are different type of immunoglobulin we are going to discuss, and where antibodies are present in your blood. Even in lymph, antibodies would be present, and I will be telling you first antibodies are produced in lymph, and from lymph they are poured into blood. where lymphocytes are abundant, in lymph or in blood? Answer would be lymph. So lymphocytes, B cell is a lymphocyte. So plasma cell pour antibody inside lymph, and from lymph it is coming into the blood. Right? Let us talk about the structure of antibody, and then we will be talking about the types of antibody. When we come on the structure of antibody are made up of majority of protein. Slight sugar part is also there, that's why we call that glycoprotein. So structure of antibody. By structure, antibody are made up of, an antibody molecule is made up of 4 polypeptide chain. It is made up of 4 polypeptide chain. No fun in telling what is a polypeptide chain. A chain which is formed by the joining of amino acid with the help of peptide bond. Many amino acids are there. We call that 4 polypeptide chain. Out of these 4 polypeptide chain, there are certain which are having heavy molecular weight. We call that heavy chain. And there are other which are having light molecular weight. We call that light chain. So polypeptide chain would be of 2 types. There would be heavy chain and there would be light chain. The number is, there would be a total of 2 heavy chain and there would be a total of 2 light chain. So simply, an antibody molecule is referred as to H2L2 molecule. Simply, in simple words, an antibody molecule is referred as to H2L2 molecule. Is that clear? Now, how antibody molecule looks like? हम शुरू करेंगे, most abundant antibody is IgG type. हम जो structure discuss करेंगे वो IgG का करेंगे. By structure, it is a Y-shaped cartoon. A Y-shaped cartoon antibody molecule upon X-ray crystallography appears like that of a Y-shaped cartoon. A Y-shaped molecule would be there. Let me make here an antibody molecule. Please mention here that both chains are joined together by disulfide bond. Both chains, both heavy and light chains, are joined together by disulfide bond, and I will be making disulfide bond as well. Okay, so if I make an antibody molecule here, let's say there is a chain and this is something like this. That's a heavy chain. This is one heavy chain, this is other heavy chain, and the Y-shaped cartoon of molecule is established. So the chain in red is heavy chain. I told you there are 2 heavy chains. Next to heavy chains there would be light chains. How many light chains are there? There would be 2 light chains as well. There are 2 light chains. लाइट चेन का जो मॉलिकुलर वेट होता है वो इन द रेंज ऑफ 25,000 किलो डाल्टन की रेंज में होता है. वो हैवी चेन का जो मॉलिकुलर वेट है वो इन द रेंज ऑफ 50,000 किलो डाल्टन की रेंज में होता है. सो यू आर हैविंग लाइट चेन, you are having heavy chain, and both of these chains are held together by specific bond, and that bond are referred as to, the bond which hold both these chains are known as disulfide bond. So let me mention here about disulfide bond as well, and let me show you where disulfide bond actually occur. There is a disulfide bond which is present here, other disulfide bond which is present here. So there would be 2 disulfide bond present there, disulfide bond present here and disulfide bond present here. Even heavy chains are held together by disulfide bond as well. Even heavy chains are held together by disulfide bond as well. Moreover, disulfide bond is also present within the chain. Moreover, disulfide bond is also present within the chain. So these disulfide bond hold 2 chains together, as well as they enhance the stability of chain, as well as they enhance the stability of each chain, heavy chain as well as light chain. So how many disulfide you have learned? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 4, 8 plus 2, 10. There is disulfide bond which is present within the heavy chain as well. There is disulfide bond which is present within the heavy chain as well. Let's say I am making this like this. Is that clear? So both the chains they are held together by disulfide bond. Even disulfide bond also appear within the chain as well. अगर मैं blue color में disulfide bond बनाऊँ, so let's say this is a disulfide bond present here as well, a disulfide bond present here as well, other disulfide bond present here as well. So total अभी count कर लेंगे how many disulfide bond are present in a antibody molecule. We will be counting. Please you start counting here. That's 4 plus 2 6, 4 plus 2 6 goes 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So a total of 16 disulfide bond are present within the molecule of antibody. So I just told you that they are heavy chains and light chains, and they are connected together by disulfide linkage, and disulfide bond is also present within the chain as well. Now I am removing all the disulfide bond from this part. I need this part here. The question is, to which part of antibody antigen come and bind? To which part of antibody the molecule of antigen come and bind? Answer to that question is this part here. Answer to that question is this part here. Antigen binding site is formed by heavy chains as well as light chains. Antigen binding site is formed by heavy chains as well as light chains, and every antibody is having a specific antigen binding site. For example, there is an antibody molecule, and that antibody molecule is having a specific binding site for this antigen. Antibody molecule is having a specific binding site for this antigen. This is other antibody molecule, and this antibody molecule would be having binding site for the other antigen as well. Let's say I am having an antigen like this. So this antibody molecule can hold this antigen, and this antibody molecule can hold this antigen. Rest part of the antibody could be similar. Rest part of the antibody could be similar. This is the part which is different. So I can say there is a part of antibody which vary from molecule to molecule, a part of antibody which vary from molecule to molecule, and other part of antibody which might be similar in two molecules, other part of antibody which might be similar in two molecules. So this region, yes please, this region is variable region, and this region is constant region. Does it make a sense? So this is variable region of light chain or heavy chain. This is variable region of light chain, and this is constant region of heavy chain. Similarly, there could be a variable region of heavy chain and constant region of heavy chain. This constant region might be having different subunit. This constant region might be having different subunit. Let's say this is C1, this is C2, this is C3, and so on. So what we just discussed, the antibody molecule is made by heavy chain and light chain, and each heavy chain and light chain consists of certain variable region as well as certain constant region. Is that clear? Now the antigen binding site, this antigen binding site, for example, again I am taking the molecule here, the heavy chain is in the red color, right, and the light chain is in the green color. I am just maintaining the same color from that diagram, and there is a binding site which is okay. If I make the terminal here, this terminal is amino terminal and this terminal is carboxyl terminal. This terminal of antibody to which antigen bind is amino terminal, and this terminal which is away from the antigen binding site is carboxyl terminal. ये तो क्लियर ना, कोई भी पॉलीपेप्टाइड चेन होगा उसमें एक अमाइनो टर्मिनल होगा, एक कार्बोक्सिलिक टर्मिनल होगा, तो ये अमाइनो टर्मिनल इधर होगा, कार्बोक्सिलिक इधर हो गया. सिमिलरली इसका अमाइनो टर्मिनल यहाँ पर और कार्बोक्सिलिक टर्मिनल यहाँ पर. सेम वुड बी इन दैट केस एज वेल. ऑलराइट, I was telling you about antigen binding. So there is a site which is meant for the binding of antigen. and this site is formed by variable chain of variable region of heavy chain as well as variable region of light chain. This site here is referred as to paratop. This site here is referred as to paratop. So paratop is that part of antibody. Paratop is that part of antibody to which epitope bind. Paratop is that part of antibody to which epitope bind. Epitope is the antigenic determinant. Epitope is the part of antigen, and paratop is the part of, yes please, paratop is the part of antibody. So a single antibody is designed to bind with a single pathogen only. I repeat, for example, in your body there is a pathogen and that pathogen is having 100 epitope. So how many type of different antibody you need to produce? Answer would be 100 types. If different 100 epitopes are there, you need to make a single specific antibody for a single epitope. Is that clear? All right. So there is a part of antibody which is involved in the binding of, how many paratopes are present in this? A total of 2 paratopes. How many paratopes are present in this molecule? 2 paratopes. The part which is having variable chains of light and heavy nature, we call that fragment for antibody binding. Fragment for antibody binding. Or simply we call that part as Fab region. We call that part as Fab region. So what is Fab region? Fragment of antigen binding. And rest of the part which is not involved, in the binding of antigen, we call that fragment of crystallization, FC region. Fragment of crystallization. It is the fragment of crystallization, the heavy part of light and heavy, the constant part of light and heavy chain, and variable part of light and heavy chain is Fab region. So mainly the antibody molecule is basically this part जहाँ से ये टर्न होता है इस रीजन को बोलते हैं बेटा hinge region. Due to the nature of amino acid present here in the chain, that region is known as hinge region, hinge area or hinge region, right? Okay. See, हुआ ये कि when researchers were studying antibody molecule, they took a culture media, they add certain antibody molecule here, let's say 3 molecules are there, और ये इसके हैवी हो गए और ये इसके लाइट चेन हो गए, और उन्होंने इस कल्चर मीडिया के अंदर एक एंजाइम ऐड किया. द नेम ऑफ एंजाइम वाज पेपेन. दे फाइंड आउट कि पेपेन ने इन मॉलिक्यूल को डाइजेस्ट कर दिया फ्रॉम दिस पार्ट, इन मॉलिक्यूल को डाइजेस्ट कर दिया, एंड जो डाइजेस्टेड पार्ट से दे वर लाइक दिस, कि एक अलग फ्रेगमेंट में आपको हैवी एंड लाइट चेन मिल गया और दूसरे अलग फ्रेगमेंट में आपको हिंज रीजन पे कट किया तो दूसरे अलग फ्रेगमेंट में आपको कांस्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ हैवी चेन मिल गया. जो सो पेपेन make 3 pieces from here. There is 1 piece, there is other piece, these are the one. Achha, later on what they and this is piece number 3. Later on those researchers add antigen molecule to this media. Antigen molecule were been binding like this, and these part, the constant region of heavy chain, as well as light chain, they were not binding to anything, and they start crystallizing at the bottom. तो फ्रेगमेंट ऑफ क्रिस्टलाइजेशन नाम ही यहाँ से आया था कि ये जो आफ्टर डाइजेशन विद पेपेन कुछ पार्ट जो है वो तो अपने बाइंड करना शुरू कर दिया एंटीजन के साथ, और जो पार्ट एंटीजन के साथ बाइंड नहीं कर रहा था वो क्रिस्टलाइज होना शुरू हो गया एट द बॉटम, और वहाँ से आ गया एफसी रीजन. सो फॉर द टाइम बिंग आप ये याद रखें कि किसी भी एंटीबॉडी मॉलिक्यूल में देयर इज़ ए पार्ट विच इज़ मेंट फॉर द बाइंडिंग ऑफ एंटीजन, एंड दैट पार्ट कंसिस्ट ऑफ वेरिएबल रीजन ऑफ light chain as well as heavy chain, and that part is known as Fab region, and rest of the part which is not involved in the binding of antigen, that part is known as FC region. Is that clear? Now, see, when we talk about heavy chains, there could be 5 types of heavy chain. And when we talk about light chains, there could be 2 types of light chain. When we talk about heavy chains, there could be 5 types of heavy chain. And when we talk about light chain, there could be 2 types of light chain. पहले light chains के बारे में बता देता हूँ. Light chains could be of kappa type, could be of kappa type or lambda type. Light chains could be of kappa type or lambda type, no need to go in detail. And heavy chains could be of gamma type, alpha type, delta type, epsilon type and mu type. So there are 5 types of heavy chain, and heavy chain is the Fc region, to be very exact. Depending upon the Fc region of antibody molecule, there could be 5 different type of isotype of antibody. Depending upon Fc region, there could be 5 types of isotype of an antibody. On a quick revision of antibody structure, antibody molecule is a Y-shaped cartoon which is made by 2 heavy chain and 2 light chain. Both the chains are connected with each other by disulfide bond. There is disulfide bond within the chain as well as disulfide bond between the 2 chains. Each chain consists of a variable region and a constant region. The variable region of heavy chain as well as variable region of light chain, they combine together and make a pair top or fragment of antibody binding, fragment of antigen binding. The constant region of heavy chain and light chain are referred as to Fc region. Depending upon Fc region, there could be 5 isotype and there are 2 different type of light chain. अभी याद रखें. Let me tell you about 5 isotypes of antibodies or different type of antibodies. तो ये बच्चे हो गए about the structure of antibody. I guess it makes a very sense to you. Sir, fine. We told there is a very good significance of this amino end. What are the significance of this carboxylic end? There are so many significance of this carboxylic end actually. You just need to remember the term C. This end is the one which attach and which activate the complement system. I told you that the classical pathway of complement system is by either IgA or IgM, IgM or IgG. They are the complement activator. तो जब complement system activate होता है तो which part is recognized? Answer is, which part is playing function? Answer is complement. Answer is the carboxylic group. Second, आप ये याद रख लेना, there are certain antibodies which can cross placenta. The classical example is IgG type. प्लेसेंटा के अंदर जो एंटीबॉडी बाइंडिंग साइट होती है वो कार्बोक्सिलिक एंड के लिए होती है. दे कैन क्रॉस प्लेसेंटा. इवन जो भी एंटीबॉडी आपकी मेम्ब्रेन बाउंड होती है, उन मेम्ब्रेन बाउंड एंटीबॉडी के लिए भी जो बाइंडिंग साइट होती है वो एफसी रीजन पर होती है. ठीक है. द मेम्ब्रेन बाउंड एंटीबॉडी दे आर आल्सो हैविंग बाइंडिंग साइट फॉर एफसी रीजन. membrane bound antibodies. ठीक है बेटा, तो सिंपली इसको बोलते हैं सेलुलर रिकॉग्निशन. अगर आपको सी ही याद रखना है तो ऑन सेलुलर मेम्ब्रेन जो भी एंटीबॉडी बाइंड करेगा वो फ्रॉम द कार्बोक्सिलिक एंड ही बाइंड करेगा. तो ये 2 इंपॉर्टेंट है, ये याद रख लेना बच्चों. ठीक है, ये हो गया अबाउट द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ एंटीबॉडी. Next, we are going to learn about the types of antibody. When we talk about types, depending upon the Fc region, there are 5 isotype of an antibody. Depending upon Fc region, there are a total of 5 isotype. तो isotype तो आपको ये क्लियर हो गया होगा कि भाई जो constant part of heavy chain and light chain होता है, जो हैवी चेन से उसके बिहाफ पर आपने आइसोटाइप्स किए हैं. टाइप्स ऑफ एंटीबॉडी डिपेंडिंग अपॉन एफसी रीजन, there could be 5 isotype, and these 5 isotypes are, I used to remember gamed. They are gamed IgG, IgA, IgM, the mu1, IgE, the epsilon 1, and IgD. So there are 5 isotypes depending upon the Fc region. Is that clear? Now see, if I am under infection and my body is making 100 types of IgG, my body is making 100 types of IgG. All these types of IgG would be different. All these types of IgG would be having different paratop. It simply means जो बैक्टीरिया था उसके पास 100 एपिटॉप थे. तो different type of IgG which are present in an individual body, they are referred as to idiotype. What is idiotype? Idiotype, different type, different types of a particular different variant, I must say, different variant of a particular immunoglobulin in individual's body, that is what we call idiotype. So type of IgGs I am having in my body are idiotype, type of IgA in my body are idiotypes, and so on. There is one more type, one more classification. What are allotypes antibodies? Allotypes की अगर बात करें, मेरा जो IgG होगा वो slightly different होगा than yours IgG. Obviously my IgG has been formed by the genetic information present in my DNA. It would be slightly different from the IgG present in your body. That's why my immunity would be different from your immunity. So a particular type of antibody in two different individuals are known as allotype. Particular type of antibody of two individual, तो मेरे बॉडी के अंदर डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द एफसी रीजन 5 आइसोटाइप होंगे. मेरे पास जितने अलग अलग तरह के IgG, IgA, IgM जो भी है वो एरियोटाइप हो गया, और मेरा IgG आपके IgG से अलग है, डेट इज एलोटाइप. नाउ लेट अस मेक ए लिस्ट and let me show you, what is the meaning of monomer molecule and what is the meaning of dimer molecule. Okay, let me tell you. Let me make a list here and let me give you the features of 5 immunoglobulins. Features of 5 immunoglobulins. Features of 5 immunoglobulins. Here first I will be discussing about IgG, then IgA, IgM, IgD, IgE and so on, right? जो भी होगा. IgG के बारे में अगर बच्चों बात करें, गामा ग्लोबुलिन होता है. It is the most abundant and about 80% of my antibody, of my immunoglobulin, 70 to 80% to be exact, about 70 to 80% of my antibodies are IgG only. Is that clear? Next, IgG is smallest in size. It is smallest in size. Third, you will remember that the antibody which is dominating in secondary immune response is IgG. It is dominant in secondary immune response. Yesterday I told you about this as well. Is that clear? When we talk about the structure of IgG, there is one molecule of IgG and these are the paratops. So IgG molecule exists as a monomer. IgG molecule exists as a monomer. IgG immunoglobulin, it is the only one which can cross placenta. the only immunoglobulin which can cross placenta is IgG. IgG is very efficient in opsonization. Opsonization. What is the meaning of term opsonization? Let me tell you. Let's say there is a pathogen here. There is a pathogen here, and this pathogen is very smart. He is escaping from all the phagocytotic cell. An antibody come and bind to it. Antibody come and bind to it. And now this antibody can enhance the phagocytosis of this pathogen. Let's say this is a phagocytotic cell here, and this antibody is having a receptor to bind with phagocytotic cell, and this pathogen can be engulfed by the phagocytotic cell after binding of this antibody. I will say binding of this antibody to this pathogen make it easily recognized by phagocytosis. Make it easily recognized by phagocytotic cell. This process is known as opsonization. It was like ये सेल है और इसको ना ब्रेड, दिस इज अ ब्रेड हेयर एंड दैट्स समबडी, दैट्स अ बेबी, एंड बेबी इज नॉट able to eat that bread, or baby is not liking that bread, and what you did, you put some jam on this bread. You put some jam on this bread here, and now baby can easily engulf it. So making a cell easily recognized by a phagocytotic cell is known as opsonization. IgG undergo opsonization. तो opsonization का definition भी लिख देता हूँ मैं आगे चल के. अच्छा, opsonization पढ़ाऊँगा मैं एक्शन में कि एक्शन कैसे होता है सेल का. इट इज़ गुड इन ऑप्सोनाइजेशन, इट इज़ गुड इन एग्लूटिनेशन, एग्लूटिनेशन, एंड लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट, इट इज़ आल्सो इन्वॉल्व इन कॉम्प्लीमेंट एक्टिवेशन. जो सबसे पहला टाइप ऑफ एंटीबॉडी पढ़ा आपने, डेट इज़ योर IgG. IgG सबसे अबंडेंट होता है. 70 to 80% of all antibody present in your blood, lymph, plasma, that is IgG. स्मॉलेस्ट इन साइज है, मोनोमेरिक होता है. सेकेंडरी इम्यून रिस्पॉन्स में सबसे डोमिनेंट यही है. इट कैन क्रॉस प्लेसेंटा, वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फंक्शन. इट कैन अंडरगो ऑप्सोनाइजेशन, इट कैन अंडरगो एग्लूटिनेशन, and it is also involved in the complement activation. So two antibodies were involved in the complement activation. One was IgG and second was IgM. Is that clear, बच्चे? Next, the next antibody which we are going to discuss here would be IgA. तो हम उसको हम गैम्ड के सीक्वेंस में ही पढ़ेंगे कि they were being played. Second antibody here which we are going to discuss is IgA. IgA second most abundant होती है. IgA is second most abundant. About 10% to 15%. About 10% to 15% of all are IgA. Then जब इसकी बात करते हैं, this is a dimeric antibody. Dimeric antibody with secretory chain. Dimeric antibody with secretory chain. क्या होता है डायमेरिक एंटीबॉडी, वो बता देता हूं मैं. लेट्स से देयर इज अ एंटीबॉडी हियर, दैट्स a molecule of antibody here, and this is monomer part, and this is other molecule of antibody here. This is again monomer part, and there is a chain of protein. Which is holding these two parts. That chain is known as J chain, and along with this J chain, the constant unit is also having a secretory portion like this. A secretory chain is also present in the constant area of 2 and J chain is present. Secretory chain ना भी याद है तो कोई इशू नहीं है. आप याद रखना जे चेन, डायमेरिक विथ सिक्योरिटी चेन हेल्ड टुगेदर बाय वाया जे चेन। जो जे चेन होता है बच्चों वो अबाउट 129 अमाइनो एसिड का एक पॉलीपेप्टाइड होता है और ये बाउंड करके रखता है दोनों के FC रीजन को। FC रीजन इन केस ऑफ IgA एंड IgM इज आल्सो बाउंड बाय अनदर पॉलीपेप्टाइड एंड वी कॉल्ड इट सेक्रेटरी चेन। सेक्रेटरी चेन याद रखना इतना ज़रूरी नहीं है जितना जे चेन याद रखना ज़रूरी है। तो सेकेंड पार्ट आपने याद किया कि दे आर डायमेरिक, दे आर नॉट मोनोमेरिक। थर्ड, they are present in body secretions. They are secreted by mucosal membrane, mucosa of GIT, respiratory tract and urinogenital tract. जितना भी अपर रेस्पिरेटरी ट्रैक्ट का म्यूकोजा है वो IgA बनाता है। आपको ये भी याद रखना है कि बॉडी सिक्रेशंस में है, कोलेस्ट्रम के अंदर भी Ig होता है, आल्सो प्रेजेंट इन कोलेस्ट्रम। तो जो मदर्स मिल्क होता है, जो न्यूबॉर्न बेबी को मिलता है, उसके अंदर कौन सा एंटीबॉडी होता है? आंसर इज IgA। तो IgA को सिक्रेटरी एंटीबॉडी भी कह देते हैं बिकॉज इट इज प्रेजेंट इन अ लॉट ऑफ बॉडी सिक्रेशंस। इट इज आल्सो नोन एज secretory antibody, reason being it is present in a lot of body secretions। कई बार IgA आपके फीकल मैटर के साथ भी आना शुरू हो जाता है। it can pass via feces। तो कई बार क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं which antibody is known as copro antibody, answer to that question should be IgA। तो सेकेंड मोस्ट अबंडेंट जो कोलेस्ट्रम में होता है और बॉडी के म्यूकोजल सिक्रेशन में होता है, डायमेरिक इन नेचर होता है। कॉप्रो एंटीबॉडी और सिक्रेटरी एंटीबॉडी दो अलग अलग नाम है, दैट इज योर IgA। इज दैट क्लियर? द थर्ड एंटीबॉडी विच वी आर गोइंग टू लर्न इज IgM। लेट अस टॉक अबाउट IgM, the mu heavy chain वाला। IgM contribute about 2 to 5%। IgM contribute about, let's call that 2 to 10%. You must be happy. IgM is the largest immunoglobulin. It is a pentamer। तो जब आप IgM बनाओगे, IgM would be like this. This is a J chain here, and to that J chain there is one immunoglobulin, second immunoglobulin, third immunoglobulin, fourth immunoglobulin and 5 immunoglobulin. Can you tell me how many binding sites are present there? A total number of antigen binding sites 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What is the valency? What is the valency or probability of antigen binding? 10. How many paratops are there? 10. It's a decavalent in nature. It is having 10 paratop. How many paratop in IgA? Answer was 4 paratop. How many paratop in IgG? Answer was 2 paratop. IgM is the largest one. It is pentameric in nature. It is having how many paratops? 10 paratops. All 5 different monomer is joined together by J chain. Then it is the one which is first produced in primary as well as secondary immune response. It is first produced in primary and secondary immune response. जितनी बार भी आपको एंटीजन इंजेक्ट करेंगे, फॉर एग्जांपल आज एंटीजन इंजेक्ट किया, थोड़ा IgM बन गया, थोड़ा सा IgG बन गया, अगले महीने फिर से वो इंजेक्ट किया, थोड़ा IgM बना, खूब सा IgG बन गया, तीसरी बार फिर इंजेक्ट किया, थोड़ा IgM बना, खूब सा IgG बन गया। तो IgM इज फर्स्ट प्रोड्यूस्ड इन आइदर प्राइमरी और सेकेंडरी इम्यून रेस्पॉन्स, कैन नॉट कॉज प्लेसेंटा, नो फन इन टेलिंग। देन एक और चीज़ याद रखें, जब ये फ्री होता है आपके ब्लड में तो ये पेंटामर होता है। व्हेन इट इज़ फ्री इन ब्लड इट इज़ पेंटामर, पर जब ये बाउंड होता है बी सेल के ऊपर इट इज़ मोनोमर। जब ये बी सेल के ऊपर बाउंड होता है इट इज़ मोनोमर। आई एम मेंशनिंग हियर इट रिमेन्स मेम्ब्रेन बाउंड ऑन बी सेल्स, और यहाँ पर ये मोनोमर होता है, ये भी याद रखना। देखो ऑप्शनाइजेशन ये भी करा देता है, पर ये इसके पास फेगोसाइटोटिक सेल से बाइंड करने के रिसेप्टर नहीं होते हैं। ऑप्शनाइजेशन करने के बहुत सारे तरीके हैं। एक तरीका था आपका इट हैज़ बीन इनगल्ड बाय फेगोसाइटोटिक। सेकंड तरीका हो सकता है कि भाई कॉम्प्लीमेंट सिस्टम एक्टिवेट करें और इसको जो भी बैक्टीरिया है उसको फटाफट ख़त्म करा दे। तो इट इज़ आल्सो अंडरगोइंग ऑप्शनाइजेशन। IgM आल्सो हेल्प इन ऑप्शनाइजेशन IgG से कहीं ज़्यादा, पर इट हैज़ नो बाइंडिंग साइट फॉर द फेगोसाइटोटिक सेल। तो पेंटामर होता है, लार्जेस्ट होता है 10 पेयर टॉप, प्राइमरी और सेकेंडरी इम्यून रेस्पॉन्स में बाइंड करेगा, मेम्ब्रेन बाउंड इन बी सेल। एंड इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग रिमेंबर, अगर फीटस का भी इम्यून सिस्टम तो होगा, फीटस के अंदर सबसे पहले कौन सा एंटीबॉडी बनता है? अपना, मदर को भूल जाओ प्लेसेंटा से जो आ रहा है, दैट इज IgM। इट इज फर्स्ट टू बी प्रोड्यूस्ड in embryo. It is the first to be produced in embryo. Moreover, it does not cross placenta. Please remember that. It is involved in complement activation. Answer is yes. It is involved in complement activation. This antibody, this immunoglobulin is also involved in complement activation. ठीक है बेटा। देन दो और बचती है आपके पास, वन इज यूर डेल्टा वाला और सेकंड इज यूर एप्सिलॉन वाला। जस्ट गिव मी 2 minutes, आई एम कवरिंग दैट पार्ट। नेक्स्ट इज यूर IgD, वेरी स्मॉल कंसंट्रेशन, अबाउट 2.2% only. It's monomer. How many paratop? Having 2 paratops. Just remember that paratop, it help in the activation of B cell. These antibodies, they are also membrane bound, and they are involved in B cell activation. Last and the least is IgE, the epsilon 1. About 0.1% of total antibodies are IgE. Monomeric in nature, so no fun in telling 2 paratops. They are also membrane bound paratop, but they bound to basophil, they bound to mast cell. These are the cells which bound to basophil and mast cells. अच्छा बेसोफिल और मास्ट सेल से जब बाउंड करेंगे तो व्हाट वुड हैपन? दिस इज ए बेसोफिल और मास्ट सेल, जो भी दोनों के सिक्रेशन एक जैसे होते हैं। IgE कम्स एंड बाइंड लाइक दिस, इनकी जो सिक्रेशन है, हिस्टामिन सिक्रेशन है, वो बढ़ जाता है। टाइप 1 हाइपर सेंसिटिविटी में कौन से इम्यूनोग्लोबिन इन्वॉल्व होते हैं? आंसर वुड बी IgE. दे आर इन्वॉल्व इन टाइप 1 हाइपर sensitivity. So if you have been any time asked which of the immunoglobulin are referred as to allergic mediator, answer would be IgE. They are commonly known as allergic mediator. Type 1 hypersensitivity is also known as anaphylaxis. Type 1 hypersensitivity is also known as anaphylaxis, a type of acute allergy. So what you learn on the basis of FC region, we are having 5 types of immunoglobulin, that is IgG, IgA, IgM, IgD and IgE. And how they differ to each other? First would be concentration. The only immunoglobulin which can pass through placenta is IgG. The one which is present in colostrum is IgA. The one which is first produced in in embryo by itself is IgM. Remember, presence of IgM, excess of IgM in an embryo is a sign of infection. At the time of birth, if there is excess of IgM, present in embryo, that's a kind of infection. You don't need to learn that thing. IgD are the B cell activator, and IgE, to be very specific, are mediator of allergic response. So let us have a break now, and we will be continuing the video how antigen and antibody interact with each other, how antigen and antibody interact with each other. So let us take a break now. Thank you.